The Wendigo is a demonic spirit rooted in Algonquian-based Native American folklore. In some scary stories, this supernatural creature can curse and possess humans, causing them to suffer from cannibalistic urges that can never be sated. It's believed many different individuals can be infected by this single ancient evil, serving as multiple extensions of it. These tales are believed to be the world's first zombie stories. The myth originated as a way to prevent those facing starvation in times of famine from resorting to cannibalism for survival. The Wendigo mythology later morphed into a way to encourage moderation and cooperation within tribes. Anyone guilty of greed or jealousy, or anyone who had ever tasted human flesh, was considered tainted and prey for the beast. Tribes began to appoint Wendigo slayers for hire, and those who were believed to be transforming into a Wendigo would be put to death. The earliest version of the Wendigo legend came from Algonquian-based Native American tribes and describes it as an evil spirit or demonic entity that was able to possess humans and, in some cases, even transform into human beings themselves. This shambling skeletal beast is similar to a zombie, not just in its seemingly mindless hunger, but also in its form. It's strikingly tall, yet seems fragile and haggard, falling apart from decomposition as it moves. Some say the Wendigo infects its host slowly, tormenting them as it takes over the mind and body. It begins with strange odors that only the victim can smell. Then they are plagued with nightmares, their sanity melting away from their sleep-deprived minds. They'll experience an unbearable burning sensation throughout their legs and feet, and usually end up stripping down, running naked through the forest like a madman. This is usually the last anyone sees of those cursed by the Wendigo. The few who have returned from the woods after suffering Wendigo fever have been said to come back utterly insane. According to Algonquian myth, once a Wendigo eats another person, it grows directly in proportion to the person it just consumed, making it impossible for it to ever be full. It is the embodiment of gluttony, constantly consuming yet never satisfied, always on the brink of starvation. According to the lore, the longer a Wendigo walks the earth, the stronger its powers become. This savage creature can eventually gain the ability to control the weather and to call upon darkness before sunset. The Wendigo also gains the ability to manipulate other creatures of the forest. It can summon predators and force them to attack on command. Its speed and strength also grow with age, as does its ability to heal. The people of the Assiniboine, Ojibwe, and the Cree tribes took the Wendigo taboo so seriously that during times of famine, a ceremonial dance would be performed. The purpose was to reinforce the threat of the evil creature in the minds of the people during harsh winters. These ceremonies were performed in northern Minnesota at Lake Wendigo. Back in 1878, a Cree man named Swift Runner was only 25 miles away from the Hudson Bay's company supply post when he was overcome with the need to butcher and eat his entire family. The winter of 1878 was brutal, and Swift Runner's son allegedly died due to the harsh conditions. Whether Runner and his entire family consumed the boy after his death is unclear. What was found were the mutilated remains of Runner's wife and his 5 remaining children. Runner confessed to killing and eating his family, but he blamed his actions on a Wendigo. He was put to death by authorities at Fort Saskatchewan. While the name stems directly from the lore, Wendigo psychosis is a very real disorder where people develop an appetite for human flesh. This form of cannibalism is not considered the same as those who consume human meat in survival scenarios as the lore originally describes. Wendigo psychosis describes an individual who has access to normal food sources yet feels overwhelmed by the need for human flesh. In 1907, Jack Fiddler, an OG Cree chief, and his brother Joseph were arrested by Canadian authorities for slaughtering 14 people. According to Fiddler, the victims had all either transformed into a Wendigo or were on the verge of doing so. Fiddler was a medicine man considered to have great powers capable of stopping the ancient evil, which is how he got away with executing so many people. After their arrest, Jack committed suicide before he could stand trial, but his brother Joseph was given a life sentence as his accomplice. The sentence only lasted about 3 days, however, because he died in prison right before he was given a pardon. Between the late 1800s and the 1920s, a Wendigo is said to have appeared near a town called Rosezu in northern Minnesota. It has been claimed that each time a sighting of this creature was made, an unexpected death followed. The sightings, however, eventually stopped and things went back to normal.